Okay guys, still having issues with editing videos, so I'm going to try to do card number 6 in its own video. I have my show turned down to a minimal. The only other thing you should hear, unless a baby starts crying, is my heater, because my kitchen is really huge. My craft room is in one corner of it and it does not get warm, so I have a heater on all winter long. Okay, so we're going to do some embossing on the craft card base with the small stamp set. I have 2 new embossing powders I want to try out, so we're going to use both. The Nouveau Hot Chocolate embossing powder and the Wendy Vecchi potting soil. When I heat emboss a whole card like this with small images, I don't use the Misty or my stamping platform from Tim Holtz. I just use the acrylic blocks and hope for the best. Let's see, what do we want to do? I want to put this in the middle, so I think we're going to use the tiny, maybe the bunny with some eggs. Definitely the bunny. I don't know what else yet. Just bear with me. Playing around today. I'm winging it just so you guys can finally see a tutorial on a card without my many issues going on. And so far so good. Let's find some wood and knock, because not one of my children has woken up yet. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do here. Do a few images at once, and then I'll put the embossing powder on them, heat them up, and then do some more. That way it doesn't dry too quick and I don't make a mess with my embossing powder. I like to make sure some of them are going off the page so it doesn't look awkward and have too much of an edge. Alright. I think we're going to do the bunnies with the potting soil. I have tried so many things when it comes to embossing to hold the falling embossing powder. I even bought one of those, what is that? One of those special like bowls they have with the little pour spout on the end that you can actually dump your embossing powder or glitter or whatever back into its bottle. And honestly, I found that it's more trouble than it's worth, because it takes so much time to make sure all of it comes out. Then some of it gets stuck in the spout, and then you gotta try to wash it out, and then you can't use it again because you gotta rinse it. So I saw this, somebody else was using a coffee filter on a video I was watching. I don't remember who. And I just thought it was a really good idea, and let me tell you, it does work. It's a little, when the coffee filter is, you know, when you first start using it and it's curly and it's sitting up all folded and nice and neat, it's a little difficult to use until it starts flattening out a little. I do change them every once in a while, because once it gets this flat, it's hard to keep it down to be able to pour over it. But coffee filters are cheap. Okay, I'm going to heat up my embossing gun and my heat tool. I like to go from underneath I find that my embossing powder moves around less and I don't lose any of it. I will go to the top once I see that it's melting just to uncurl the paper a little bit. It's kind of hard when you're working on the base and the folded bottom keeps hitting your heat tool. You can't move it around the way you would like. And my fingers are getting hot, people. I'm going to try it from the top because my paper's curling more than I would like it to. There's one more over here in the corner. All right. I don't know if you can see it. I've never used this before. I mean, I did put it on a test piece of paper. I have all my, maybe I'll give you guys a tour someday of my craft room, but I have all my embossing powders stamped out on a piece of paper so I can see exactly what they look like when they're melted. It's got little white spots in it. I don't know if that's because I put too much powder on. That doesn't normally happen though. Weird. Oh well, it's not a big deal though. Alright, I think I want to put like 2 more bunnies on there before we move on. Or maybe not. I'm not sure where I want to put these little guys. Some of them are going to be covered up though, because I already have plans for the middle, so maybe we'll just do this so we get an idea of where they're gonna be. All right. I don't know if any of you are curious when I say my shows. I don't really watch anything current that's on TV right now when it's supposed to be on. I usually watch stuff. Did you guys see what happened there? Hold on, I'll show you. Look at that. Can you guys see it? It looks like white. It looks like it didn't have any brown on it at all. I mean, I know it looks a little brown. Can you see it now? Yeah, that right there. It looks like it's got filled with white. I don't think I'm gonna mess with it though, because you're only gonna be able to see the tip. But that was strange. Anyway, so I do watch shows that are currently on TV, but I watch them, I also rewatch them, that's what I want to say. They could have been off the air for a year, 7 years. I don't really sit down and watch TV in the living room. TV's not my thing. I do sit down on Sundays and watch Walking Dead. My fiance and I sit down and watch that together. And that's actually what I'm watching right now. I started the whole show over again on Netflix. And I do tend to watch the same things over and over again. When I get bored or I finish watching something, I will start another show that I've already seen. And you will notice too, if my videos become, you know, people watch them enough. I like to clean up as I go along, because if I don't, well, it doesn't matter what Tim Holtz says, my stuff will spread. I mean, actually, if you guys could see my desk and my table right now, they're just covered in stuff that I'm supposed to be doing over the next couple weeks. All right, so I'm gonna wash this off real quick. If I can find my rag. Okay, here we go. I use a lot of rags. I use baby wipes once in a while, but I like using the rags better. Less of a residue comes off, like I don't get tiny pieces of baby wipe if I'm using a rag. I've washed these so many times and it's never done anything to my laundry. I mean, honestly, most of the color is Distress inks. The black is any, you know, permanent ink. I've never had a problem though. I just cut up old small boys' white t-shirts and use them. Okay, so I like the bunnies. I like the way they turned out. And I'm looking at the small stamp set right now, and I'm wondering if there's anything really that's in there that I think would match. But I don't really see anything here either. If I do the flowers, I'm not really going to be able to use the hot chocolate. So I think maybe, since, I don't know, that's kind of large. But I think maybe we'll do a couple of the eggs. That way it'll just be an outline. And then maybe a couple of the tiny eggs I'll do in a different color. I'm going to add a little bit more just to make sure that doesn't stick, because I did notice when I was using the hot chocolate embossing powder, well, at least on white paper, it left that color behind. You know how you shake off your paper and then you see a little spot of color like it rubbed on there? I don't like that. I hate it when that happens. It's annoying. So I try to make sure that it doesn't happen. I think I'll turn that one upside down. Alright, let's do those and see where we're at. Trying to make sure this isn't a super huge long video that you guys get bored with watching. That's not what I want. I just want you to be able to see, you know, my work in progress and how I come about making a card. Sometimes I plan them out. Sometimes I get through a few cards and then I get stuck if I'm doing a kit. So, I mean, my process is usually always different. I can't even say really that I have a process, because it's usually, depends on the day, depends on the item, all of that. And see, I don't like the way that one looks up top, but the line's a little thicker. Maybe I pushed too hard, but I'm not gonna mess with it, because with my luck I'll screw it up, and that definitely won't make for a fast video. It melts really nice. I really like the way the Nouveau embossing powder melts. It's so smooth. I don't know how else to explain it. Oh, that is super hot, guys. Trying to do it up on that crease where the card is folded is like very difficult. Alright. Okay. Okay, I like that. I think I like the way that turned out. Gonna add a couple more hanging off the edge though. So let's do that. I don't think any more will fit anywhere, to be honest with you. That is probably going to be it. Let's see what that looks like. You know what I keep forgetting to use? I forgot I had it. I just got it. I was so excited to get it. And I haven't used it yet. I mean, I guess I really haven't had occasion to really use it. But it's this tonic craft spoon. I was so psyched when I got this. My daughter was laughing at me. She's like, I can't believe you're so excited about a spoon. I was like, that is not a spoon. That is a craft tool. She just rolled her eyes. It's all good though. I'm a little off camera for a second because I forgot to move the coffee filter and I just don't want to be blowing that all over the place. But I do know I'm out of frame. I'll be right back. Okay, I like that. I think I like the way that turned out. Let me just say, you guys, that I got my income taxes right around the time that I saw this, the weekend that Creativation was, you know, putting videos on YouTube. And I saw Tim Holtz using it and talking about it, and I just could not wait to get it. And I actually saw that it wasn't supposed to be out yet, and I kept putting it in search engines and putting it on Amazon, and there happened to be one woman that all of a sudden popped up on Amazon that had 6 of these, of the glass media platforms. And I mean, you should have seen me. I was like, talking to my fiance, going, yeah, what if I pay for it and it's not what it's supposed to be? I was so nervous, you guys. I think I messaged her twice online. I mean, she wasn't just asking for the price. She asked for $20 over the price. So yes, I paid $20 more than all of the rest of you probably did. But let me tell you, when it came, I was so thrilled. I was so happy, and I love this thing. I use it all the time. I never don't use it, and I protect it with my life, because my son's always running up to the desk, and the desk is perfect height for him to be slamming his Matchbox cars on it. So that's something I have to watch out for. Okay, so now that we have this done, move this stuff out of the way. I want to make a panel with the Lawn Fawn rectangle dies. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. I don't know if I want to use that much. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, hold on a minute, guys. I hate it when I have something in my mind and it does not work out the way I wanted it to. Oh, look what happened. Alright, we gotta fix that. That's going to bother the heck out of me. I can't believe that happened. I looked at it twice. I thought it was done. Alright, let's do this again. Look, guys, guess what? I get to use my Tonga craft spoon because I am not dumping that into the coffee filter again. And you're probably going to see my head for a minute. All right, let's try that again. Okay, well, I didn't line it up exactly right. That's going to bother me, so guess what? That's probably going to be where my sentiment goes. And I should have used a coffee filter, guys. I'm a messy person. I should have known that wasn't going to work. All right. Okay, so that's probably going to be where my sentiment goes, because that's just going to bother me. Okay, I thought I did pretty good too, so I'm a little disappointed. Okay, let's try this again. I love the stamp cleaner, but it's expensive for how often I use it. I wish there was something else that cleaned them as well. I've tried water, but let me tell you, they really are right when they say that your stamp looks clean cleaning it with water until you clean it with stamp cleaner. That is absolutely true, because I've tried it. Okay, so now I'm seeing this. I'm going to actually flip it face up. And it's bigger than I thought, but now I'm starting to think, let's take advantage of using that paper because I haven't really used that much, and then we'll put this one on top of the plaid. So I think that's what we're going to do. See? Change of plan, guys. Change of plan. That's just how I operate. So let's just play an eeny, meeny, miny, moe game and see which one we think we're going to use. And just so you know, I think I want to put the Easter basket stamp centered on it. This one right here with maybe a couple eggs around it. So I'm trying to pick my plaid paper based on that. I kind of like the blue and the yellow, but I think I like the blue best on this craft paper. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Let me say also that the first time I had to buy replacement cutting plates, I purchased them at Hobby Lobby for like 25 bucks. And yes, I used a 40% off coupon, but still, let's face it, guys. That's a lot of money for cutting plates, one set of cutting plates. Then I needed more, and I was about ready to go on Amazon because none of my other craft stores around here sell the cutting plates. Or at least I thought they didn't. Turns out now that AC Moore has teamed up with, what is it, Blitzy? They now have a small die cutting machine that they sell that has to do with Sizzix, I think. because they have the same exact cutting plates now that I buy from Hobby Lobby, and they are only 10 bucks a set. 10 bucks. When the lady told me that at the cash register when I went to buy them, and I found them on accident, I went back and got the only other pair they had because I couldn't believe it. So if you have an AC Moore, check them for cutting plates because they have them. They have them now, I should say. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to cut out, I think I want to do I want to do Bristol? No, I want to do my Spectrum Noir paper because that'll hold the color better. I've noticed lately that when I'm stamping on the Bristol Smooth using the Memento ink, it tends to smear. It smears when I use watercolor markers. You can see it in with the yellow. It smeared when I was using my alcohol markers, so I make sure I'm using my Spectrum Noir paper when I use the Memento ink. I don't know why it does that, because I've never had a problem before, but then again, for a long time, I didn't even use Bristol Smooth paper. So, back to the Spectrum Noir when it comes to stamping and coloring, and use the Bristol Smooth for the distress inks. I'm still fairly new at this. I've only been making cards since last Christmas, right before last Christmas. That's when I started out using, I saw Tim Holtz's items online. I think it started with alcohol ink, and then I saw all the other things that he had. This was around my birthday last year. Not this past Christmas, but 2016. And I saw all the items he had, so I started buying a whole bunch of the mixed media stuff that he has. And I was making tags upon tags upon tags. And I was like, you know, I could be making handmade cards like my grandmother used to do. So I started with Christmas cards. That was the first holiday that was coming up. Ow. See, guys, I hurt myself. And then I made a whole list of holidays and, you know, other times that I can make cards for people. Then I started watching videos online, and I just love it. I mean, I've always done crafts ever since, probably ever since I could lift a marker and color. It runs in my family. We used to do a craft exchange every year where we each made a craft, and then, you know, enough for every person in the exchange, and then we did it on Christmas. Real big craft family. But I was always sewing or wood burning, crocheting. I never once was into paper crafting until this past year and 4 months, whatever it is. And I have to say, I'll probably be sticking with it for life. I do this more now than I sew, and I used to quilt constantly. Make my kids clothes, all kinds of stuff. I do all kinds of stuff. Every year when we go to Myrtle Beach, I make my girls sundresses, so they have, you know, enough sundresses for the entire week. And they're easy to pack, easy to wash, you know, easy to clean, and I don't have to worry about missing socks and missing shorts. But anyway, alright, so I got as far as knowing I wanted to put an Easter basket on there with some extra eggs, but that was it. I don't know what else I want to do, so let me put this Versamark away real quick and get out my Memento ink. I don't know if you guys can hear me because I had to move over to my card. I think I'm actually going to use my archival ink. The problem is it's in a mixed palette. And actually I don't think I'm going to do this with a block because I always manage to screw it up. So because I can't, you know, exactly go like that on the Misty or the stamping platform, either one, I'm going to use a dried out dewdrop that I have. And what I do, it's a cute, you know, it's an easy tip, is I take it, put it in the black that I want to use, and then transfer it to my thing. And it works really well. So keep your dewdrops for colors you use a lot that are in mixed palettes, because that definitely comes in handy. I think we'll just use this since it's smaller. And right here. I probably should get the mini stamping platform. because I really love the large one. You know, every time I put washi tape on these things, it never works. Alright guys, we're running into 30 minutes, so I'm trying to hurry this up for you. I want it to be the centerpiece mainly, and then maybe some eggs all around it. Maybe I'll draw in some grass. Originally the sentiment was going to be on here too. Maybe we'll make two, but right now I have to say, because of the fact that I screwed up that egg on the embossing, I don't know if we're really going to be putting sentiment on the center. Maybe we'll put ribbon or something. We'll see. See how well that works? That's a totally dry ink pad, trust me. I used it for as long as I could. Okay, that's good enough. I think because of the fact that I'm having such a hard time with figuring out how to properly edit my videos with the non-working apps that I've downloaded so far, I might not do all 10 cards for the Easter kit. Let me know if you guys want to see all 10. It just seems like it's taking a really long time, and I know that I haven't touched April's kit yet, but you guys let me know. I mean, if you guys don't mind watching them like this, I will be more than happy to make one video as quick as I can for the rest of the remaining cards. That's completely up to you guys. There's not many of you out there yet, but I do appreciate you. And if that's what you want me to do, I will do it. Okay, there is a row of eggs on the bigger stamp set. I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to use it to frame if it works out. God, I hope it works out. Let's see. It will work if I do it right, if you guys bear with me for a minute, but I want to use a solid color, so let's use, I want to say Distress ink, but I don't know if it'll work on the Spectrum Noir paper. So let's use some pink. Want to do pink, you guys? Or do you want to do blue? Let's do blue to match the paper, the plaid paper. So we're going to do, it's a little bit darker than the paper, but we're going to use the Bahama Blue from Memento. Alright, so let's see if I can do this without ruining it, guys. That's not bad. Okay, let's see if we can do it again. You know how it goes when you do something more than once. Just because you get lucky the first time doesn't mean that you're going to keep getting lucky. Alright, so now I'm going to wash this off with some stamp cleaner because I know it's not going to fit 4 across right there. So I'm going to measure out how many it does fit and only stamp those. So we're looking at 2.5. 2.5. And actually, I'm not going to be so careful about stamping them. I am just going to use some Post-it tape. I got these at Joann Fabrics. I think they're Miss Sparkling Company. They're in the $1.99 bins. And they definitely come in handy. For a long time, I was using these as masking paper because I could not find masking paper anywhere. Then I realized that's an item that you have to order online because, at least for me, none of the craft stores I have around me have it in store, which was disappointing. Okay, so that worked. Okay, so now I'm going to do across this way, but I just want to make sure it's dry. Just enough to make sure that I'm not smearing it when I'm putting my hands down for the next set. Sorry guys, I don't know if I'm in your way or not. I'm trying not to be. Really trying not to be in your way. It's hard to see what I'm doing though if I don't get down close. Now if you wanted to spend more time on this, you could use the single legs and do alternate colors, which would look really, really nice, but I didn't do that because I know that this is a video that I'm not editing. So I wanted to make sure that you guys didn't get bored. And the only way to do that was to do things that were quicker. But I think I might try that on a different card and see how it turns out with multiple colors, because I really like that idea. Oh, I forgot to dry it. Hold on. I don't know if it looks stupid with having the half eggs, but it just didn't make sense to have a big gap. And I don't think it would look right having them go past the lines. I almost screwed that one up. Picked it up after it had already touched the paper. Oh, that one was too close. Hopefully it won't be that big of a deal. I know you can see it right there. Closer than the other ones I did. That's the one, that first one, I'm sure they're not all perfect, but that's the first one where I've really noticed. Alright, now here we run into a small problem because I don't think I know a whole egg isn't going to fit there. So we're going to have to do like right at the bottom of the egg, we're going to have to do a line with the Post-it tape so that it doesn't touch the egg. Okay, so let's do it like that. Okay, that worked. I don't know how it's gonna look when I take the Post-it tape off. That's not too bad, I guess. I don't know if I like it, guys. I'm a little iffy about it. They didn't exactly work the way I wanted them to. Okay, let me clean this off. Put those back. Alright. Now I'm going to color those real quick. I'm going to use the fine tip Arteza pens because that's the smallest tip. Ooh, then you guys get to see all my rags. Those are the smallest tip I have right now. And that basket's got a mighty small. You could easily color this with bigger things or use watercolor if you emboss that with clear embossing powder. And that would have been good too. Probably could have saved myself a lot of grief, but whatever. Too late now. So I'm just going to give this a quick color. I'm not going to add water to it or anything. It's just going to be regular coloring.
That's really nice.
I really like these fine tip markers. The only thing I don't like is the cap doesn't always denote the shade of the color it is. I picked up what had a light purple cap and it turned out to be a really dark purple. So I don't know if it was the type of paper I was using or if that's just the way some of the markers are. It's just something I noticed. It wouldn't keep, by all means, it wouldn't keep me from using them. I mean, if you took the time, although I don't know if I would with something this big, that's like 72, I think, in this set. You could probably make a color chart or write the colors on the marker or label them in some way. It's just, that's a lot of time to be doing that. I think, I said this was going to be straight up coloring, but I think because I want to be able to see the lines in the basket, I'm going to use just a tiny, tiny bit of water and spread it out a little. Just a little bit, enough for it to look colored. And dry that real quick. Okay. And what color we want to make that little pillow? I think we're going to do that like pink, that little blanket in there. I'm not really at the point where I know how to shade with these things, not knowing really what the colors are. But I am going to shade a little bit on this blanket because I don't want it all this color pink. So I'll just put a little bit at the top here. And on the sides, and then I'll find a different pink. That's too dark. See, it takes time to go through them and see what colors you think it actually is. I got a big scribble pad here that I've been using. That one's probably the closest. I kind of like that one. Let's see how this one looks. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I should have stuck with the first one, so I think I'm just going to do this and then go over it with the light pink. Now they're starting to like smear on each other. I think that has more to do with the tip than it does with the marker itself. It didn't exactly turn out the way I wanted it, guys, but I should have used color that I know, you know, I know how it works rather than something new, or I at least should have tried it out first, because it kind of ruined that paper. So, and I think the colors, the eggs inside, they're just going to be solid colored eggs. No designs or anything. I was thinking about playing around and taking the little eggs and stamping them on top, but that'd be a lot of masking and everything, and that's just going to lengthen the video. But it is another idea for you guys. You could go ahead and make masks for these eggs and then just use the prints that are on those solid stamps, which would actually look really cute with different colored inks. And do orange, yellow. I'm gonna do green. And purple. We're gonna do purple. That's a pretty purple. We'll use that. I was also thinking about doing the lines all around in pink or purple, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm just going to leave it be for now. Okay, so we gotta decide if we're putting anything else here, because if we're not, it's kind of just floating. So we'll have to draw in some lines or some shading. Will he fit? I think we're gonna leave it be. Maybe put a couple single eggs there with a couple different colors. Let me grab a couple different colors. Pink, green, orange. Pink, green, orange, yellow, guys. Pink, green, orange, yellow. So this one's going to be orange, and then after I put these eggs on, I think I'm just going to draw in some grass with those thin markers again, so I don't know why I put them away. why that didn't work, I don't know. So that's a little aggravating, so because now I'm going to have to try to line it up. All right, let's try this again. Actually, that's not too bad, guys. I'm damn proud of myself right now. I mean, it's a little off, but not gonna worry. Definitely better than the embossed egg. Okay, so now this one.
What did you do to him? He was fine until the two of you were alone with him. Something happened. You're going to tell me.
It was an accident.
That's not bad. Moving right along. Moving right along. I think there's only 3 eggs, 3 separate eggs on this one. So we'll have to decide which egg we're using again, or use only one off of the strip of 4. I don't know if you can see that. Good enough. I think I'm just gonna go with the same one because of the time. And
You really think I didn't know? Noah's smart. Probably my best worker. That story you told about the down
there we go.
was so much of a liar.
Okay, so they're all wiped off. They're all going back where they belong. Okay, get that marker back out and draw some grass. Now it's just a matter of finding a green that looks like grass. That's kind of light. I think that's the one I used on the egg. There we go. We're going to use this one. Okay. So I'm just going to do a tiny, tiny bit of shading right underneath the basket. And then I'm going to draw the grass right over it. IG2 Spectrum Noir alcohol marker and just did a little bit of shading underneath. It's very light, just enough to make a difference. It's not perfect. Shading isn't not an art. It's just do the best you can, at least for me. I'm no expert at it at all. And to do the grass, I'm just gonna go along that bottom line of the basket and just
As long as they don't take advantage of the ones who are.
gotta be really careful with this egg here.
Okay. Watch. Painkillers. Barely burns. Don't let me get trapped for something. You know that's what that was about. So the thing is.
So that don't look so bad. When I'm first drawing it, it looks like it's just very amateurish, if that's a word. But when you're just looking at it, it looks like it's supposed to be a part of it. So not bad, not bad. I do have to fix this because my grass lines are coming down below the solid grass. So I guess we'll just make that a little longer. And don't mind me because when it comes to my stuff, I'm such a perfectionist that it actually does me harm. Not like I think all my stuff is perfect. That far from it. Exactly the opposite. When I look at the stuff I've done, I can always see that I could have done something better or I could have done something more. It's never going to be done to me, and I never, ever, ever really like my own work. I don't know why. And that's with anything I make, not just paper crafting. And then I'm thinking, did they fall out of the basket? Should I put some shading there too? Which is probably a yes. Otherwise, they kind of just look like they're hanging in midair. And yes, I am left-handed. Most things I do are with my left hand. I do use scissors with my right hand. I don't know why. When I was in first grade, one of my memories, you know how you don't really have a lot from kindergarten and first grade. One of my only memories from that time, and I don't really like that shading I did on those eggs, but it's gonna have to do. One of my only memories of that time is my teacher trying to force me to write with my right hand. It was like I was some evil child because I used my left hand. Okay, we're gonna put this together. So I was just sitting here trying to decide, do I want to pop this one up or do I want to pop this one up? And I actually think bear with me, guys. I had another brief idea. I don't think I'm gonna do it though. All right, so we're gonna pop up the plaid. I have some leftover tape here, so I'm just gonna put this on here real quick, and then I'll cut more. I don't like to waste anything, so I usually save all my little pieces of foam tape, stuff like that, so I don't waste it. Although, this was the roll I bought last year when I discovered foam tape when I started making cards. And I'm just now running out. I mean, yes, granted, I have bought small rolls of foam tape from the dollar store. And I think I bought one once from Joann Fabrics, but I finally had to buy another big roll. I'll show it to you guys in a second. And I didn't get it. I got it from like a warehouse company. It was cheaper, and it's not exactly the same as this red stuff, because actually I found stuff that was cheaper than this red stuff, although this red backed tape is from X Fasten, and that's an X Fasten, and they sell all kinds of shipping supplies and warehouse supplies. I found them by accident on Amazon when I was looking for foam tape. And it was only like, I know you guys pay a lot for the big rolls of Scotch foam tape. This stuff was like 15 bucks plus shipping, which wasn't bad at all, especially if you have Prime shipping, for the free 2-day shipping because of Prime. This time, I found some that was, I think it was 11 bucks. I want to say it was 11 bucks. And actually, I think I want to say it was cheaper than that, like it was 8 bucks. Because I think that's what finally made up my mind to try it. And the only I haven't used it yet because I wanted to use up this stuff first. But I did pull it off to see how sticky it was. It's extremely sticky. And the only thing I don't like is when I accidentally picked up the roll, it got stuck to the bottom of something because I have it just sitting on the table. It looked like it was starting to come off the roll. Oh, I think I had it sitting upright on my cart. That's what it was. And it looked like it was too soft to stay on the core. So I'll show you what I mean when I show it to you. But it seems like it's going to work just fine. And for the price, you can't beat it. Because let me tell you, I got a lot of other things that I could be spending the $30 or $35 on that, you know, most of you are paying for the Scotch foam tape. I'm just not willing to pay that much when other tape works just as well. And this red stuff, this X-Fasten stuff, this stuff was really good. I would have bought this again if I didn't want to try something that was a little cheaper and see if it worked just as well. And X-Fasten, I let them put me on their email list. The backing's a pain in the butt though, if you don't have nails, and I clip mine a lot. They send you a lot of good emails. They don't email you all the time. They send you their weekly deals where you can get like whatever they have advertised for that week, like for 99 cents or I think I even saw free just pay shipping once. I mean, they have a lot of really good deals for people who buy a lot of that stuff. And here I am rambling, but I guess that's better than silence, right? You guys let me know. Would you like it better when I ramble? Or would you rather just hear some silence and watch me make the card? Let me tell you, if I did a video during the day, well, not during the day, because a lot of my kids are in school during the day, but when they all get home from school, and then the 2 little ones are here too, let me tell you, this place is loud enough to give a whole state a headache. Why is this giving me such a hard time today? It's because it knows I wanted to be on a time limit for you guys. That's why. That's why it's giving me a hard time. It wanted to make me look bad. Trying not to bend my paper. Just seems like no matter where I pull at it, it doesn't want to come off. And I'm tipping my head down to see it, and I'm bonking the camera. You guys are probably shaking up there. Ow. See? Pretty sticky stuff. Although it's probably not advisable to put your thumb right on your foam tape. Okay, one more to go, guys. One more. And I did it again. Okay. Ta-da! I got it! Yay! Maybe I should put the purple on these lines. What do you think? Okay, that looks about right. Doesn't look bad. I think it's off a little on this side. You know what, guys? I'm not messing with it. I usually like to make sure that stuff goes straight, but if I take that off, it's going to rip the embossing powder off and it's going to ruin the base, so I'm just not going to try. That probably makes me a bad person. I swear I'm not being lazy. Look at this. If I try to peel this off. Ooh, wait, is that the dollar store one? Yeah, that's the dollar store one. Are you gonna come off for me and make me a liar? Oh my goodness. Alright guys, no, it's not gonna come off. I tried, I really did. It almost came off, but I got stuck where there was no embossing powder. Let's stick that sucker back on there. I'm actually wondering if I put another layer on, would that still send in the mail? And then I was thinking about playing around with making it off-centered so that my sentiment could go there. And I kind of like that. Maybe tie a ribbon around that. Let's see what kind of ribbon I got, guys. Something different at least, right? What's the point of making cards if we're not willing to try something different? That's if I can find any ribbon. Oh, you know what? Duh. I have it all hanging over here on my new cart. Okay. Pink, blue, yellow. I like this yellow. All right, bear with me. I'm cutting my ribbon off. Okay, let's see. What about this? Well, it don't look as good over here as it did over there on the cart. If I do that, it covers up my eggs. I don't know if I like that, guys. Maybe we just stick with not doing it. So my sentiment, what are we gonna use? I never even thought about this. Easter. I like the happy, but it's so small. What about... Alright, I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna put this on a piece of cardstock. I think we're actually gonna put it on a little piece of the plaid. The same plaid. I wanna make sure it looks the same. I don't wanna do any other funky colors. And I'm trying to make it so that okay, so I tried to do it so that it's even. It's not really, but I think I can fix that with the paper cutter. Not really. I mean, it looks a tiny bit crooked, but I'm not sure how much I'm willing to cut off of this, because then what if I screw it up? That's too much. There we go. Just a little bit. And then just a little bit off this side. Tiny bit. This is the problem with saying, oh, just a tiny bit more. I could keep going around this thing going, oh, it's just a little bit crooked on this side. This is what I'm talking about. This is where I always run into a problem, thinking I can do just a little bit more, thinking it can be just a little bit better. Now I'm about to do that bottom again where I originally started. And this is going to have to be it, because I know if I want to do any type of decoration, like doing lines to make sure they look the same to the edge, it's got to stay where it is. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to make one card. But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying, I swear. Okay, purple pen, purple pen. Did purple because this one has no die cut lines, dotted lines. And I wanted to see how it would look, because remember I was thinking about doing it to the Easter basket panel. I'll let that dry for a second, and I kind of like it with the purple. So we're going to do the purple on the white card real quick, just real quick. I'm just going to go over the lines that are already there. You guys, please comment below. Let me know what you liked about the video, what you didn't like about the video, things you would like to see in the future. There was something else I was going to say. See? I'm trying to concentrate on two things at once. Usually I'm a really good multitasker. How you liked this video? Did you think it was too long? Would you rather I wait to do these videos until I can work out my editing situation? I mean, I want to hear all of your opinions. You know, what you think. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, and I really wanted to make a go of having a channel with how-tos, because I know I learned a lot subscribing to a lot of people on YouTube, you know, that I still enjoy watching and still learn things from. So please, give me your feedback. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell them what I do. You know, it's nice to be able to have have a hobby and do the things you enjoy. And for some of you, it's more than a hobby, which eventually, with me being home, I hope to make it more than just a hobby. Yeah, everybody's different. Alright, so that's done. I do not think, though, that I'm going to do this one. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. Okay, we're really going to wrap this up. Okay. I'm going to dry those real quick with my heat gun, just to make sure they're done. Okay. I think I am going to do it like this. The only thing I don't like about that is that you see less of the embossing on the back, but I think all in all it works out better for the card, and then we have some more space to decorate. But I'm not going to pop these up. I'll have to pop them up a little bit under those edges, but that's it. So I'm going to use thin pieces of tape, foam tape, and my small tape runner if I can find it. Okay. You know, I cut my nails every once in a while because they get too long. It gets too hard to maneuver certain things when I'm crafting or sewing. Plus, they're a hazard when you have kids, man. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally scratched my kids or poked them in the eye. But man, when you don't have nails, I keep forgetting I have these tweezers too. That would probably help a little bit, but you know, that's just me rambling again. Now we're gonna need a small piece of foam tape, and I'm just gonna put that right there. You should probably measure this first before you go doing it like my idiot self is doing, because you know, you want to make sure you have it where it's only touching the base of the card and not the part that's already popped up, because you don't want it double popped up. That's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to make it even. I feel like I'm losing my voice, guys. Let me grab a drink. It seems like for the past 2 months we've been sick. Everybody's been sick. And my daughter started it and she gave it to my 4-year-old, and my 4-year-old gave it to me, and then she gave it to her little brother, and then we finally all got rid of it, although my 4-year-old's cough like lasted for weeks. It seemed like she couldn't get rid of it. And then, I mean, mine got so bad it turned into a bacterial thing, and I had to have antibiotics, and we all finally get better, and somebody brought home another cold again. Somebody's forever sick in my house. All right, so I'm just feeling along the edge of my popped up piece to make sure I don't have foam tape going on top of that, and then I'm just gonna set it down. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Alright, I got tape on my platform. That's okay, because this definitely takes care of it. He really was right about the hand sanitizer. That stuff cleans anything up. But that noise is horrible. Hate that noise. It's kind of like nails on a chalkboard to me. Okay, let's see what way this is. I got another little piece here I'm gonna use. And that should be it. Let's peel that sucker off. want to cover that mess up on the egg. There's that. Now we just got to dress it up a little bit because that just looks too plain to me. I have to say, it's not at all what I pictured. It ended up coming out totally, I think it would be safe to say totally different than I originally had in my mind. But that's okay. That's what this is all about, experimenting, having fun, trying new things. So we have some flowers I got out to see, you know, what we should use. This one's got more colors in it. And of course, it didn't open for me. And of course, there's a flap on the bottom, because, you know, that's just me. That's my luck. It's all good. And then we've got some different pearls. Also, I already used these on one card. I don't know if I want to use them again, but we do have these blue crystals. I don't know. We'll see. You know what? There's different sizes in here. I did not know that when I bought them, but that's cool. Very cool. Did you guys see those? I didn't even check to see if you could see them. Okay, so I think we'll use some of these. I think I'm going to use a clear flower. I know you guys, I should try to stick the stuff in the kit, and sometimes you just can't. You can use whatever you have on hand. I mean, Nuvo drops will work just as well as pearls, gemstones, you know, any of that stuff would work. I'm just going to put one big, one small. You know, no rhyme or reason. And I've heard many times over from the people that I watch, the odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye. And I tend to think that that's true in certain cases. So there's 3 down there. 3 up here, but that's not all, because that's technically 6 for the whole card. I want to put another blue one up here in the corner. And I think it honestly needs another flower. Maybe 2 flowers, you know, the odd and even thing. Put one here. I feel like that corner's lonely, but I feel like if I add anything up there, it's just like I said before, I could keep going and going and going. So I think this is where I'm going to call it an end. If I pull away all this distraction, I can give you a glimpse of what it actually looks like. Give me 1 second. So there you go. This is card number 6, guys. You let me know what you think. And this ended up being about an 1.5-hour video. So you let me know if you want me to continue with the last 4 cards, or if you'd rather just, like I did the summary the other day of the first 5 because of the issues I was having. If you'd rather I just do it that way, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, being patient with me. And please, please, please tell your friends to subscribe. Don't forget to leave your comments below. Have a great night, you guys. Bye-bye.